Neutral. Imagine meeting someone new, their smile disarming, words wrapping around you like a warm embrace. But hidden in that charm lies a test, a subtle probe, to see if you bend, if you yield control without a fight. In the undercurrents of first encounters, manipulators deploy secret signals, gauging your manageability. From the opening handshake, turning casual chat into a battlefield of wills. This deep dive uncovers those veiled tactics, pulling back the curtain on how predators assess vulnerability, leaving the unaware ensnared in invisible threads. It begins innocently, a glance that lingers too long, words that probe deeper than surface level, all designed to map your defenses. You respond, unaware, feeding them the data they crave to weave their influence. The risk escalates quietly, turning potential allies into unseen puppeteers. Picture the subtle shift in posture, the way they mirror your gestures to build rapport, all while scanning for cracks in your armor. That initial connection, so promising, harbors shadows of control waiting to unfold. Even the tone of voice, modulated to match yours, creates an illusion of kinship, lowering guards imperceptibly. The atmosphere thickens with unspoken assessments, each word a thread in the web being spun. Feel the weight of that first hello, laden with hidden intent, as the game of influence begins without a word of warning. Shadows lurk in the friendliness, ready to exploit any sign of pliability. The handshake itself, firm or lingering, tests grip and duration, reading confidence levels in milliseconds. Body language speaks volumes, unspoken cues revealing inner resolve or hesitation. Eye contact intensity probes further, seeking aversion or steadiness as indicators of submissiveness. The setup is meticulous, every micro-expression noted for leverage. Consider Alex, a newcomer at a networking event, eyes locking with a charismatic stranger named Jordan. Jordan leans in close, breaching personal space just enough to unsettle, watching for retreat or acceptance. This isn't accidental. It's a boundary test, a classic opener where manipulators invade subtly to measure resistance. If Alex shifts away, Jordan pulls back with a laugh, masking the probe as friendliness, but notes the pushback. Insights from the American Psychological Association reveal such tactics as part of broader manipulation strategies, where early compliance signals forecast deeper control. Jordan follows with probing questions. What's your biggest fear in life? Seemingly deep, it's intel gathering, mining for insecurities to wield later. Alex shares a vulnerability, job stress, and Jordan nods empathetically, filing it away. This mirrors real-world dynamics, where manipulators collect emotional ammunition from the start. The danger? It builds a false intimacy, making future demands feel natural. Picture the internal tug. They're just interested, Alex thinks, ignoring the unease. But that whisper of doubt is the first alarm. Recognition flickers. Perhaps this isn't genuine. Through this lens, we see how oversharing is encouraged. With Jordan, sharing a fabricated tale to prompt reciprocity, deepening the hook. Take the case of historical figures. Even in literature, characters like Charles Dickens's Uriah Heep use false humility to manipulate, mirroring real-world con artists who prey on the trusting. Shocking, isn't it? Modern examples abound. Social media influencers who guilt-trip followers into donations, masking greed with pleas of, "You're my supportive family." The viewer nods, recalling that uneasy feeling after clicking donate. To understand the mechanics, consider reciprocity bias, Robert Cialdini's principle where favors create an unspoken debt, compelling repayment even when unbalanced. Manipulators exploit this, offering minimal help, then demanding mountains in return. Jordan started with a shared laugh, escalating to personal favors, all under the guise of connection. Suddenly, Alex is sharing contacts, their network exposed. This investigation uncovers the subtle signs, constant compliments on your openness paired with deepening inquiries, leaving you exposed. It's not about paranoia, it's about awareness, those invisible shields that guard your core. Without them, manipulators become shadow directors, steering your choices. Stanford experiments on conformity reveal how groups pressure the open into compliance, amplifying this trap in social settings. Feel that chill? That's the recognition hitting home. And it extends to casual meetups, where friends test loyalty with small secrets shared, watching for gossip restraint. The cycle tightens, trust weaponized. In sales pitches, the quick, limited offer probes impulse, seeing if you'll bite without deliberation. Customer service calls do it too, upselling disguised as helpful suggestions, testing acquiescence. The unaware agree, wallets lightened subtly. Even in elevators, strangers strike conversations to test social responsiveness, gauging openness for potential exploitation. Small talk becomes a scouting mission, reactions cataloged for future use. Public transport encounters amplify, seat offers or directions requested, compliance noted as a green light. Everyday interactions turn into unwitting auditions for control. Coffee shop lines follow, casual compliments probe flattery response, susceptibility to praise revealed. The mundane hides the manipulative. Peeling back more layers, observe how manipulators employ time pressure in initial meets. Jordan urges, "Let's exchange numbers now. Who knows when we'll cross paths again?" This rushed intimacy tests impulsivity, seeing if you'll commit without thought. Astonishingly, a University of California study links hasty decisions to heightened susceptibility in abusive bonds. Alex hesitates, but Jordan presses with charm. Don't overthink it. Resistance met with mock offense. You seem guarded. This flips the script, making caution feel like a flaw. Psychological breakdowns term this deflection, redirecting scrutiny. The good-hearted apologize, yielding ground. Real anecdotes swarm online. Forum posts detail first dates turning possessive fast. One shares, "He insisted on planning our next meet right then. Red flag missed." The toll? Eroded autonomy from the outset. Countering begins with pause. Journal those gut feelings post-meet. Empowerment surges, transforming passive encounters into vigilant ones. But manipulators adapt. They use pity plays, like feigned vulnerability to elicit sympathy. "I've been hurt before," they confide, pulling heartstrings. Resist the urge. It's a snare. Interestingly, evolutionary psychology suggests this stems from tribal survival, where alliances ensured safety. But in modern settings, it's abused. Urban tales illustrate scam artists posing as distressed, preying on helpers. The victim feels betrayed, connections scarred. Yet, this investigation isn't about isolation. It's about discernment, spotting true bonds versus calculated ones. Mindfulness practices, backed by Johns Hopkins research, help rebuild instincts, fostering balanced interactions. As we probe deeper, the layers unfold. Manipulative signals in family introductions, where relatives test obedience with family favors. Relatives think it's bonding, but it's control seeding. Shocking revelations from family therapy journals confirm this, linking early yields to lifelong patterns. The newcomer adapts, becoming enmeshed or resistant. Communities see it too. New members tested with group norms, subtle pressures mounting. Leaders observe, categorizing manageability. In hobby clubs, the eager newbie is tasked with minor duties, gauging eagerness to please. Refusal notes independence. Compliance signals pliability. Neighborhood gatherings echo this, invitations laced with expectations, testing social conformity. The outsider complies, integration masking subtle dominance. Volunteer drives follow. Organizers assign roles quickly, watching for willingness to overcommit. Enthusiasm exploited, burnout lurking unspoken. Religious settings intensify. New congregants probed with service requests. Devotion measured in immediate yeses. Faith twisted into obligation from hello. School reunions replicate. Old classmates probe with reminiscences, testing emotional availability for rekindled ties. Nostalgia veils the assessment. Shifting to professional realms, where first impressions cloak tests. Jordan, now a potential boss, compliments lavishly in interviews. "You're perfect for this," but slips in, "We expect flexibility. Late hours okay?" Why probe so soon? To gauge work-life surrender. This breeds quiet resentment, outward nods hiding turmoil. In romantic entanglements, it's deadlier. "You're so forgiving," justifying early lapses. The open-hearted excuse, entanglement deepening. Attachment theory explains this. Secure bonds thrive, anxious ones snare. Pioneered by John Bowlby, it reveals how initial tests shape lasting dynamics. Eye-opening, right? Recovery stories inspire. One individual, after spotting probes in a job offer, negotiated terms firmly. Their shift? From compliant to assertive, boundaries setting the tone. But beware the pushback. "You're too demanding," to unsettle. Cognitive behavioral techniques counter, reframing doubt. Social experiments like Yale's show authority exploiting early yields, echoing obedience studies. Participants complied, mirroring professional slides. The employee wrestles internally. Consequences build: fatigue, mood dips, physical strains. A systemic view ties to stress responses, alert mode constant. Meditation tools, neuroscience-backed, reset balance. Envision asserting no with confidence, watchers retreat. Yet persists in acquaintances, the constant sharer, testing listening limits. Drainers exhaust. Communities advise, balance audits. Imbalances stark, cultures amplify, group harmony over self. Wisdom tales warn over yielding, equilibrium, open yet guarded. Mentorships uneven, newbies tested for deference. Reciprocal redefines. Conferences, speakers probe audience with controversial queries, reactions cataloged for influence. In negotiations, subtle concessions test flexibility, small gives revealing larger potentials. Team meetings follow suit. Ideas floated to test agreement, dissent noted as resistance. The assertive push back, dynamics shifting. Client interactions mirror, requests escalated early, gauging pushover potential. Boundaries blur if unmet with firmness. Freelance gigs add, scope creep tested in initial briefs. Expansions slipped in casually. The freelancer yields, workload swells unnoticed. Corporate training simulates role plays, probe team dynamics. Leaders noting who folds first. Hierarchy established silently. Digital twists amplify first contact tests. Online profiles probed. Likes mined for hooks. We share so much. Fast-tracking trust. A BuzzFeed investigation exposed fake profiles guilting connections. Algorithms favor emotional polls, trapping in virtual webs. Comments demand connect if caring. Echoes real erosion of judgment. Experts urge verify origins before engaging. In chats, imposters build with tales, then probe commitments. Lonely souls invest, devastated. Reports detail romance fraud surges. Support networks mend, caution rebuilds. Monitoring apps flag odd patterns. Broader, ads test clicks with urgency. Act now. Consumers yield, regrets follow. Historical propaganda used similar probes in rallies. Wartime calls tested loyalty swiftly. Modern politics, rallies gauged cheers for pledges. Education challenges questioned sources. Parallels in groups, leaders test devotion with tasks. Tragedies like cult incidents show extreme yields. Analyses uncover charisma's override. Balance, doubt with openness. From probed to proactive, spark grows. Educators face new hires tested with overloads. Advocacy reframes. Learners in teams, one tested for carrying. Teach limits early. Emergent patterns, signals as power plays. Leisure groups, organizers test commitment with extras. Enjoyment fades unevenly. Virtual realities, Avatars probe reactions in Sims. Data harvested for real influence. Studies warn of digital empathy traps. Awareness counters immersion risks. Social apps. Matches test with rapid questions, sorting for malleability. Profiles crafted to elicit quick responses. Vulnerabilities exposed. Email phishing mimics. Urgent requests test clicks. Security breached. The digital realm multiplies opportunities for these silent assessments. Gaming platforms add layers. In-game interactions probe cooperation. Alliances formed or broken on compliance. Virtual friends turn controlling. Real emotions entangled. E-commerce sites probe. Personalized recommendations test buying habits. Upsells hidden in suggestions. Carts abandoned, retargeting intensifies the pressure. Streaming services suggest watch history probed for preferences, content funneled to hook longer engagement. Time sunk, autonomy chipped away digitally. Neurological roots, empathy circuits activate, self-guards drop. Brain areas conflict on resistance, ache-like. Innate pull to connect. Research links neurons to social cues. Fakers trigger, responses noted. Sessions rewire alerts. Programs prove choice empowerment. Freedom in selection. Commerce exploits. Offers test impulse. Buys haunt. Safeguards limit. Front lines hold. Economics show aversion pressures. Self-twists. Shadows persist. Delay advises. Kin dynamics tests in gatherings. Facades crack. Talks reveal. True ties. Worldwide aid. Probes in help. Reviews critique intrusions. Locals rise. Reliance to independence. Media portrays. Films exploit probes. View heals. Debates on portrayals. Guides teach refusals. Changes echo. Habits cling. Repetition firms. Range subtle to overt. Causes guilt for systems. Shifts work. Sessions unite. Training acts. Podcasts dissect initial cues. Listeners relate. Patterns break. Brain training games simulate social scenarios, honing detection of manipulative probes. Users report sharper instincts in real interactions. Virtual simulations extend. Role-playing apps where scenarios test responses, building resilience. The mind adapts, probes less effective. Neurofeedback devices offer deeper, real-time brain scans during mock encounters, training to spot and resist. Science empowers, turning biology from weakness to strength. Wearable tech adds, heart rate monitors flag unease in conversations, alerting to potential manipulations. Data personalizes defense strategies. fMRI studies delve, visualizing brain activity during probes, mapping empathy's double edge. Knowledge demystifies, control returns to the self. Inner probes, self-tests, manageability. Standards bind, stalls from dread. Thoughts warp, counters affirm. Voices hush, studies ease woes. Self first. Care seekers quiet, decline. Voice missing, drives speak. Train harmony, seniors alone, unasking. Links encourage, tech bridges. Competitors overpush, veil harm. Paths shorten, changes guard, wins pure, causes personal blame. Core evade, aim high, power in knowledge. Faith leaders test obedience, reveals unmask. True ways, insight lights. Sims mimic, figures pull kindness. Real applications, communities cleanse. Joy returns. Stories elevate guardians. Motivated, hypes sufferers. Tales empower. Exploration bears foundations, calls alert. Narratives shared, mend groups. Skills build response. Blogs chronicle escapes from probes. Communities grow vigilant. Self-reflection journals capture post-encounter thoughts, revealing overlooked signals. Patterns emerge, empowering future defenses. Personal coaching sessions delve into past interactions, uncovering missed cues for better navigation. Awareness deepens, self-doubt fades. Support circles expand. Peer groups simulate encounters. Feedback sharpening senses. Collective wisdom fortifies individual shields. Therapy apps integrate. Daily prompts review interactions, building habitual vigilance. Inner dialogues strengthen against subtle intrusions. Hypnotherapy explores. Subconscious probes uncovered. Reprogramming automatic yields. The psyche fortifies, layer by layer. In this maze, truth shines. Signals spotted early shatter chains. Protect. Assertive phrases disarm. Strength from awareness. Good sans sacrifice, respect mutual. Resonates? Silence breaks. Share video, light paths. Next, survivors reclaim. Subscribe, witness rise. Balanced vigilance today. Journey unfolds. Probes turned to power. Embrace discernment. Transform encounters. The shift from unaware to empowered awaits. Take the step now. Your story rewrites. Control reclaimed in every glance and word. The final revelation hits. Knowledge is the ultimate defense, turning tests into triumphs. Step forward armed, encounters redefined forever. Empowerment echoes, each interaction a victory over the unseen.